in anger, as now Austin McCusker in that Norma has an opportunity to pull away from the Ligiers behind him, because the number 4, the IMSA Motorsport car, is trapped in between himself and second and third spot. Both of the ESM machines playing a bit of a tail gunner for Austin McCusker there. And it is now Michael Weldon who is in second in that number 30 machine. Ben Waddell is third in the number 3. And then Pato O'Ward in fourth in that number 7. But just because they're there now doesn't mean they won't change it. As soon as I say that, Pato O'Ward jumps up to the 3rd position. Excellent move by Pato. There are quite a few lapped LMP3 cars between the leader and then second place, but that doesn't matter for Pato O'Ward. He's looking to get onto the podium, and then further up, that's all he cares about at the moment.
That's exactly right. Number 4 and 55, that's Zach Robichon and Scott Andrews. They are battling for, well, 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack, but a lap down to the overall race leader. So Austin McCusker, he's going to have, at this stage in the game, he's going to have to turn a few laps and make sure he doesn't come under pressure from them. As that's
Pato.
Yeah, Pato O'Ward diving down the inside at turn 10. Whoa! Ouch!
Big spin for the number 3. That was Benjamin Waddell in his first start. And also Robbie Foley gets turned around in the number, or no, that's Lance Wilsey in the number 33. So that is our Masters class leader, which will put Cameron Castles into the Masters class lead, at least temporarily, as Wilsey is trying to wait for a safe gap and more contact. Who was that? That's the 19. So that is Jan Halen. And is that the 4 of Zachary Robichon?
You're right.
Oh, no. And Robichon is stopped on the apex of a corner. No, it's Cameron Castles. It's the number 75. A very bad lap for our Masters class.
Yeah.
We lost.
Who's left standing?
Yeah, who wants to win this one?
Who is left standing? Yeah, right. Castles, I guess it'll be the...
It would probably be... no, Matthew Dickin is not a Masters class.
Well, no,
Jim McGuire?
Well, yeah, Matthew Dickin, he's a master. Corey Lewis isn't, but if he finishes ahead there, that's going to be good enough.
Pato O'Ward with a brilliant move down the inside, and Benjamin Waddell just missing his braking point, and a great job by Josh Hurley in the number 44 to avoid hitting the side of the ESM green and black machine. Lance Wilsey spinning a bit further back in the field in the same spot that that previous spin had happened. Wow, that was action-packed. McCusker leads from Patricio O'Ward, 1.7 seconds back and under 15 minutes.
And Sean Reynolds in the pit lane, so not sure what happened to number 51 car. Was he one of those spinners on that restart lap?
I didn't see him spin, but
Tell you what, up into 9th position overall. Oh, okay, I was just going to say what happened to Wyatt, because in... no, he came past there. Dave House had already taken the lead at the end of the lap. I think this is at turn 1, isn't it?
It is.
White Schwab is off the road. Dave House, is now 9th overall in the race. He took the restart in 14th. He's now 9th overall and leading MPC. Hats off, Dave. Go for it.
Well done. A round of applause as the 19, Jan Halen, comes into the pit lane. Wyatt Schwab is stopped at the entrance to turn 1. He's at the exit of the pit lane, all the way off against the tire barrier. He has not made contact with the tires, but he is parked up there. Dave House, MPC leader, as Jeremy says, 9th overall, which means that Paul LaHaye will cycle up to 2nd, and Stephen Dawes will go to 3rd. So what looked like a podium position slipping away from that number 22 as Stephen Dawes all of a sudden has been gifted back by Wyatt Schwab stopping.
Yes, indeed. Whether he had an incident on his own or what happened, we didn't really see, but there is Dave House in the 9th position overall. Pristine car there, isn't it? And he's out in front and looking to stay there now. He's got a pretty good margin over Paul LaHaye in 2nd place. He was about 8 or 9 seconds back as they came across the line on that first lap after the restart. Meanwhile, out front, it is Austin McCusker, but pretty looming in his mirrors now is Pato O'Ward.
Cue the Jaws music, because Pato O'Ward is on a mission. It is less than a second of a gap between 1st and 2nd now. We are still green. Wyatt Schwab still showing as stopped on our timing screens in turn 1, but perhaps he's far enough off the racing line that race control is happy to let this one play out. 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Pato O'Ward hunting down Austin McCusker.
Yeah, and he was about 3/4 of a second faster on that last lap. So Pato O'Ward now has got the bit between his teeth. And we know he's looking to redeem himself from the mistake he made 1 week ago on the streets of St. Petersburg, where he threw away a certain second victory on apparently a certain second victory by running off the road and stalling the car and then rejoining at the back of the pack. Paul LaHaye in car number 36. He's running second place now in that pink One Motorsports. It's a One Motorsports 1-2 then at the moment. Paul LaHaye is the best previous best finish was a 6th position, so he's currently running not only on the podium but in second place in MPC.
And his 6th position came here at Sebring in the 2nd round last year, and it's 6th at Watkins Glen. So he's familiar with what it looks like to be 6th. He's not familiar with what it looks like to be 2nd. And a great effort today by that bright pink car. Jeremy, we have a new leader. Wow. Pato O'Ward has gotten around Austin McCusker and is driving away down the backstretch.
And that's well surprising because the Norma is really, really good. Austin McCusker, I thought, was pretty much in tune with this guy. Hasn't done an awful lot of laps this weekend, certainly. But Pato O'Ward, he'll drive anything, anywhere, anytime. He's got a huge amount of experience now with all that prototype driving he did last year, and of course this year as well with Performance State Motorsports. He will be taking part in tomorrow's 66th running of the 12 Hours of Sebring presented by Advance Auto Parts.
And this happened around the backside of the course. Did McCusker get a bit loose? No, Pato just dove down the inside.
Austin not paying attention, quite frankly.
Well, but that was also the same point of the racetrack, Jeremy, where we had seen quite a few spins on the lap prior. So McCusker perhaps being a bit more cautious than he normally would have, but it is Patricio O'Ward who leads.
Yeah, I mean, Pato most likely isn't going for the championship in LMP3, although that situation might change. So Austin McCusker, he's going to have a pretty good championship lead when he leaves here at the end of the day. So that's mission accomplished in one way. But he was a youngster. He wants to win. He had the win taken away from him through really no fault of his own at Daytona, but the 19-year-old from Glen Head, New York on Long Island really does want to get that first win under his belt. Well, it doesn't look now as if it's going to come unless he can really get himself up to the speed of Pato O'Ward. Pato O'Ward right now is in a different league. Yeah,
he's in a zone right now. The body language of the car, it's not twitchy, it's very smooth. He's doing exactly what he needs to drive away from the field, understanding that the Ligier he's in is better through the twisty bits of the field. He's pulled a massive gap to the point where the Norma won't get any sort of benefit being behind on the straights. It's a great job by Pato. Michael Weldon is holding off Matt Bell for 3rd. Where has Matt Bell come from in that number 26 machine?
Yeah, we talked about it as a restart, didn't we? That he was going to be one of the guys to watch. He got past Corey Lewis on that last lap and is now up into 4th place. He's only 4 seconds behind Michael Weldon in 3rd as well.
Matt Bell driving with Jim McGuire for the Masters class category, and Corey Lewis with Matthew Dickin behind them. So that'll be a top 5 for Corey in the number 17 machine. That's an impressive day as well. But for Matt Bell and Jim McGuire coming into this series, making their debut in the series this weekend, very, very impressive stuff. And it'll be even more so if they can get around the ESM machine of Michael Weldon, that number 30. Michael Weldon's another one who's looking for a good points day, Jeremy, having run the Daytona race as well, coming away with a fairly good finish there. I think it was 4th, if memory serves. But all eyes on Pato O'Ward right now with a 3-second gap over Austin McCusker after just 2 laps. And Dave House now with an 11-second lead over Paul LaHaye.
And a 58.7, 1 minute 58.7 last time around for Pato O'Ward. He's already got the fastest lap of the race. He set that back on lap 30, which was right before the restart when he was charging after to catch up with the number 3 car of Ben Waddell. But when Ben, having had that spin shortly after the restart, he's rejoined and actually just overtaken Josh Hurley for 6th position. So the number 3 car ahead of number 44 on that last lap.
Driving with a bit of ire, perhaps. Yes. The opportunity for a podium taken away from that spin. Now looking at trying to get into a top 5 finishing position, but that might be slightly overly optimistic given he's 4 seconds off of Corey Lewis, and Corey is not going to be somebody easy to catch up to, let alone pass. Michael Weldon with the fastest Sector 2 time that he has done of the race so far, so clearly pushing hard still.
And Halen making another pit stop.
Yeah, it's been a learning day for that team, it's fair to say. Their first foray into this form of racing. but not a learning day for Patricio O'Ward. Austin McCusker hanging on in second place. He was 3 miles an hour faster through the trap was McCusker than O'Ward. That's the difference between the Ligier and the Norma chassis. 7 minutes to go, and O'Ward is saying thank you and goodbye. So long and thanks for all the fish. Mike Weldon, Matthew Bell, they are very close together, those two cars, the number 30 and 26.
They're a lot closer, that's right. Matt Bell significantly faster on that lap than Michael Weldon in third position.
Reeling him in like a fisherman on an Alaskan sea vessel. Matthew Bell. I'm so impressed today, Jeremy, with Dave House, the drive that he's put on. There was a lot of pressure early on from Wyatt Schwab, a lot of tussling back and forth for the lead in the class. And for a guy who is in his mid-70s to do an hour and 45 minutes around Sebring International Raceway by himself and come away with a commanding win, that is something that will be impressive in 6 minutes time. Yeah,
just over 6 minutes remaining in this race. And that fastest lap, by the way, by Patricio O'Ward at a 1:58.343 is a new lap record that was set by Nico Germain from France last season in the IMSA Motorsports Ligier, 1:58.5 1 year ago. Nico Germain, as he's known over here. He's, you know, that just shows you how good Pato O'Ward is, because we know that Nico Germain is a super fast driver. He won races last season in Indy Lights, won the championship in SF 2000 before that on the Mazda Road to Indy.
Matt Bell is now in a podium position, having passed Mike Weldon and gone up into the third position overall. Pato O'Ward getting a fastest lap. Where have I heard that before, Jeremy? Oh yeah, all of last year. Not at all surprised for the youngster. 18 years old from Mexico, living in the US. Austin McCusker 4 seconds back. Mike Weldon retakes third position. There is a battle going on for that final spot on the podium as we wait for them to cross the start-finish line. There's the 30, there's the 26. Yep, they are very, very close together. With just under 5 minutes to go, do you think perhaps Matt Bell is waiting for an opportunity, not trying to force one?
Well, I mean, he's not quite on his tail just yet. He's still got a little bit over a second to make up on Mike Weldon, so but he's getting closer and closer with each lap, no question about it. And both number 44 and number 42 car have both found a way past Ben Waddell on that last lap. So Josh Hurley now up into 6th place in the RV Riley car number 44. Robbie Foley right on his tail. Ben Waddell right there. And also car number 23, that is Mike Skeen. So a 4-car battle for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th.
And Skeen is going to very much want to get around Ben Waddell. But we didn't know that he was going to be driving the race until, well, yesterday. And I don't know when he knew he was going to be driving, but I can't imagine it was much before that.
It was only a couple of days ago. But Shane Lewis, I didn't know that he was going to be driving the car until this morning. He was the guy who started off at the wheel of that car.
Mike Skeen showing us 0.3 of a second behind Benjamin Waddell their last time through, which was the exit of Sector 1, as there was an issue for Sean Rahal. That's not something you say very often. No, it wasn't. It was the 23. So that was Mike Skeen. Same paint scheme. Gave me a bit of a scare there for Sean.
Skeen was off the road there, was he?
Yeah, he had a bit of an issue into 7. It was around Chateau Elan.
Most likely then trying to make a way past Ben Waddell, because those two have been battling for position.
Yeah, and there was only 0.3 of a second between them, so that will have gone out the next time that they both get through Sector 2, which should be now for Waddell, and in a few moments' time for Skeen after the spin. 3 minutes are left on the clock, which means we don't get the white flag this time by, but we should next time.
That's exactly right.
And Pato O'Ward will be happy to see that. Austin McCusker will be happy to see it, knowing that that means second place is ensured. And as you say, very much rightly, a good points day for him. Meanwhile, the battle continues between Mike Weldon and Matt Bell. Still just over a second between them. Just got a feeling that Matt Bell is going to wish it was one more lap, don't you?
Yes, although Michael Weldon has really stepped it up, and he was just a tenth of a second that Matt Bell was quicker on that previous lap. But Corey Lewis, who's a fair way back, I guess, in the next position, he's just turned his best lap of the race, 2:01.1. But certainly it's that battle for third that is the one to watch. Ahead of them, however, Scott Andrews in caliber 55. He's a lap down in 15th position now. He's just turned his best lap of the race to 1:59.5, and it's he that is in between Pato Award and I think he's just behind Austin McCusker, isn't he? Mm-hmm. He's just behind Austin McCusker then in third on the road, and then a little bit of a gap to Michael Weldon and Matt Bell.
Given how Dave House got out of the number 86 for his pit stop, I can't help but imagine how relieved he will be when that white flag comes out. A 28-second lead over the next car on track and 35 seconds over Paul LaHaye for the 75-year-old. We can't really say that enough, Jeremy. It's with such admiration for what he's done in today's race, and for Dave, this will be a very, very, very well-earned podium.
Somebody put a wheel off the road there at the turn 16. Le Mans curve coming onto the Ullman straight. Not sure who that was. I think it was one of those guys battling away for third, fourth, or fifth. A white flag now for our race leader, Patricio Award.
And he's got a nice, comfortable gap between himself and Austin McCusker in second place. Ligier ahead of Norma, which is exactly as it was at Daytona. Actually, from the finish of that, it was Ligier, Norma, Ligier. Right now, it is Ligier, Norma, Ligier.
It is. And on that last lap, I think it might have been Matt Bell that put that wheel off the road over at turn 16, because on that last lap, he lost a fair bit of ground, including a second and a half in the final sector to Michael Weldon. The battle for third and fourth position between car number 30, that's Weldon, number 26, that's Matt Bell.
The toe hug pops up on the number 7 of Pato Award as he comes into the braking zone at Chateau Elan. It's almost as if the car is waving to the guests of that historic hotel. And blue flags being waved just ahead of Pato Award to let the traffic know the leader's coming through. And by the way, guys, it's the last lap, so really don't give him a hard time. And it's a good thing it's the last lap. Looks like Pato's rear tires have burned off quite a bit. He got a little bit squirrely coming through 12 and into 13. He's got MPC cars in front of him. Let's hope that they have seen the blue flag and heed the warning. Dave House crosses the start-finish line. One more lap for him in that number 86 One Motorsports machine.
And that car behind him on the road is Lance Wilsey, who led the Masters class in LMP3 for quite a long way. And Dave House, it's a position on the road for 10th and 11th places, but Lance Wilsey clearly has a much faster car. So Dave House, I'm sure we'll see him coming, let him go. As I look across to the Corvette bridge, I can see them coming underneath there, heading off down towards the hairpin. He's still got about, what, 8-10 car lengths, which is diminishing rapidly on the straight as they head down towards turn 7. And Lance Wilsey, I'm sure, would like to make out a position, and Dave House, he shouldn't be worried about losing at all, because he still is well in control.
Losing is not in the vocabulary of Patricio Award, who claims the win here at Sebring International Raceway for that number 7, sharing the car with Leo Lamelas. It is second for Austin McCusker in the number 47. A great effort for that team, but it was just too much with Pato Award on the restart. Mike Weldon does bring it home in third for the number 30, the ESM machine. And it is Matthew Bell who brings it home in fourth, which means that our Masters class winner will be Jim McGuire, his co-driver, in that number 26. Corey Lewis, a top 5 finish for P1 Motorsports in the number 17. And then in 6th place, Robbie Foley crosses the line behind his teammate Corey Lewis, another P1 veteran, in the number 42. The Ave Riley finishes in 7th position, the number 44, piloted by Josh Hurley at the line. But all eyes now to the MPC class, as that is the next car to cross the start-finish line for 10th position overall.
Yeah, Lance Wilsey actually has got past him, so wisely Dave House not making any issue out of that position. So it will be Lance Wilsey, I think, who will take the position 10th overall. But coming through the final corner now is
Mr. Dave House, young at heart, it is fair to say. He much deserved that fist pumping in the air for the number 86, the One Motorsports driver, Dave House, getting a win here at Sebring. What a cool feeling